Great thing about an old truck is you don't have truck payments. Bad thing about an old truck, you don't need a truck payment because you just are constantly fixing things. $2,400 hub a month ago. Did a decent run this week. Went up northeast, out Elizabeth City, down to South Carolina, Maryland. Yeah, I did Baltimore again. But these hoses had leaked one time before, and you could tell by the hiss when you boosted up, got 40 psi. This time, but you would lose a lot of boost. This time, you'd lose a little bit of boost, but there was a resonance to the leak. I could not figure it out. So what I've done, I think you saw in previous videos, I have a little trick where this is, of course, all sealed off. This is part of the charge side. Goes through the charge air cooler and the other side. So that's a sealed system. So you can pressurize this and it'll leak around those areas. It didn't leak. It was leaking, but it wasn't leaking. So what I mean by that is it was leaking down the common shaft into the exhaust side. You could hear it down the side of there. So what that tells you is you have a shaft seal failure. The irony of it is I didn't suck any oil. What happens a lot of times when you lose a shaft seal in here, it'll suck oil off of this pressure line and it'll feed the engine and it'll run away. You can shut the fuel off, everything, but it's fueling from pulling oil off the pressure, and that's actually keeping it running. So thank the Lord above, I actually have a seal that's blown in here and it's letting pressurized air just go straight to there. But like I said, by the grace of God, it didn't affect the oil side. So that being said, I'm going to take this turbo off. I got a brand new turbo down here, and we're going to swap it out. So we'll see what happens. All right, got the piping off, got the oil supply line off. Now, let's get the drain line off. Almost ran into trouble here. This had gotten so hot it welded itself, so I had to actually work the fitting against the hose. Finally got it out. I can't find anywhere to build a hose on a Saturday. I did check when I picked up the turbo out in Greensboro that it came with all the appropriate gaskets. Drain line off. Now when I do turbos, I'll take the bolts off on the bottom down here, because you don't want the weight of the turbo laying on those bottom studs. There's so much heat cycles up, down, it just changes the complete molecular structure of those studs. So you really got to baby them, put a lot of WD-40, PV Blaster, whatever, when you're taking them apart. I'm gonna have to crawl up on top to gear these. that sound. A little more WD-40. That's weird. See how that's, I think somebody beat on that thing. I think it was seized. There's less material on that side and then it's cracked. Like, use one of those nut crackers. Feel like I can go try to find, I mean, I can go try, I guess, tomorrow morning. Well, no. Everything's closed. I'll put it on top so I can get to it. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. The gasket was trash. It's alive, it's alive, amazing. Well, I mean, I could take it for a drive, but it won't be under load until I head north tomorrow night. Going to Richmond. Up there, you know, the rich men, north of Richmond. Anyway, some of you will get it. Problem is, a lot of times when you get these in the box, there's these two adjustable bands. This is actually the turbo right here. Feed line, drain line. This is a compressor housing. This is, I can't remember the name. Anyway, it comes off the exhaust side that drives the shaft through the compressor. So these are adjustable. You start off with squaring your drain tube to your feed line. That's what is static. Then you can adjust this accordingly to where it flanges up to your exhaust manifold. And you can adjust this as far as how this gets in plane with your charge tube. So, sounds good. Love the sound and the sing of a brand new turbo. But we'll see what it does. Not a bad price on a turbo. $1,211 out of Fleet Pride in Greensboro, North Carolina. But this is old school turbo. No variable venturi, no variable vane, no BS box hanging off the side, no dump as far as purging or anything. It's just old school turbo, single shaft. That's why I bought an old truck. Because a brand new turbo for like a DD15, X15 Cummins, they're $4,000, $4,500. $1,200–$1,500 core, depending where you buy it. This core was $600, so I paid $18 today because I didn't have it off, because I was robbing parts and making sure everything was cool. But I go through Greensboro all the time. I'll send it in, it'll come back through there, drop it off, and we'll be good to go. Get my $600 back, and we'll be up and rolling. So for those of you that haven't seen anything like this, I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, hit the bell. But I've just been so busy. I'm a slacker, and it's been 4 weeks, I think, since my last video, so sorry about that. But until then, we know that heaven bound and hammer down, brothers.